What is up, everybody? It's Bloodstalker, and we're back with a little bit different. As much as I've ranted and raved about No Man's Sky, I kind of stood by it for the longest time. I wasn't one of the people that got a refund in the Steam store, but I kept playing the game. Which brings me to what we're here to talk about today. Now, I'm doing a voiceover of the footage I recorded because, number one, it took me literally 3 hours to get to the point where I could figure out and how to do the building. I couldn't find anything online. I couldn't find it. There was no information. All I saw was how everybody was so excited. They're touting how you could do it, how you could do this. Oh, you can build in the game. That's great. They're making strides. Sony paid, I'm convinced Sony paid these people to say this crap because it's bullshit. Pardon me. I don't get that passionate about games. I'm very supportive of games. You've seen my subsistence videos. You've seen my videos on pretty much on Badia, all sorts of early access games. I'm a big indie game and early access game. No Man's Sky was a full release game that had a lot of issues. Hello Games, after it came out, they just went silent. Then about a month or two ago, you saw some random crazy tweets. Oh, their account was hacked, blah, blah, blah. I still stood by this game because I like playing it. I was excited when I saw that the patch came out. It released on PlayStation 4 first. So, again, GG, Sony. GG. Sony just irritates me with this. My problem with this is, number one, there's no information on how to do any of the mechanics in it. It's not very easy to learn. I randomly hit buttons and figured it out on my own. It took me, like I said, 3 hours to do this. That's ridiculous. On early access game, I can understand that. The controls, when you go to the controls menu, there's no keys that tell you what does what. That hasn't been updated. How come that wasn't done? This is a full release access. This is a full game. This is a completed game that they're adding new stuff on. That's great. But come on, you guys at this point should know exactly what you're doing. And I say this to you, Hello Games, because number one, now I'm mad. Now I'm salty about this game. I'm still gonna play it though. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. It was just frustrating 3 hours to try to figure out what I needed to do. To top it all off, something was wrong with my save game file. I could still play it, and I probably didn't have to delete it, but I deleted it and opted to start all over from fresh. I had a bug where it kept saying I was running out of stamina, and it wouldn't go away. I loaded and reloaded, it kept staying there. So I went ahead and started my game over. In the beginning, you notice there's three options. You now have your regular game mode, you have a hardcore mode, and the creative mode where you can just do whatever you want. Building, no resources needed, blah, 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 which is cool. One of the cool things about the game is the fact that they added in that functionality of 3 different game modes. They added in the building. Now, there's a new farming system they're supposed to have too. I haven't really messed with any of that. I didn't see it in the building mechanics, but we're going to talk about this is for PC, so we're going to strictly talk about what I was able to find in PC and how I was able to do it. Whatever planet you're on, you're probably going to start on a ship because the planets got redone. I think they added new flora and fauna, new creatures. I saw a lot of carnivorous creatures that I've never typically not seen before. The first planet on my normal save game was a water world that was crap. I couldn't find hardly anything on it. The best way to do this, and I'm just going to break it down for you, the easiest way to get to the base building part is this. Wherever you're at, get to a planet. Land on a planet, place down, you go hit your Z key, and Z will bring up a building menu. You can only build 3 objects, a save point, a transmitter, and then a communicator. Don't build those stuff, just build the transmitter. Fire up the transmitter. It takes some iron and something else. It's really easy to build. You should be able to find anything around where you land at and do this. Fire up the transmitter, look for habitat pod or whatnot. To be like option 3 or 4 or whatever. You want to find that. That'll tell you the nearest empty habitat you can go to and take over. Bottom line, easiest way to do it. You can go there and that helps you on some stuff and go and take that place over. Once you get the coordinates for it, fly over there, go inside there, claim it, hit Z, and then you can build again. You can start actually building, just like Subnautica in a sense. You can build new life pods, connectors. There's one like object right now you can build for like scientific purposes or whatnot, I guess, interactables. But that's what you do. How I found this out, I hit Z. I couldn't find anything on the internet, couldn't find anything anywhere. And granted, I was not hardcore looking because I was trying to get this recorded because I have limited time today. Because I want to get this video out to you guys because I know some of you guys might still have it. And if you still have No Man's Sky, it's worth getting back into for this. I went through all the frustrating parts for you. That's why I'm doing this video. And believe me, let me tell you, it was a frustrating 3 hours. you know, trying to figure out my existing save, then starting all over on top of that, and getting, you know, having to get to the point of making a ship, all the while looking for a place to take over. It's frustrating. So what we're going to do now, let's just kind of go through everything they did. So the first thing they introduced was, like I said, the normal mode, which is what we originally played, if you ever played it. Then the chilled exploration experience, I'm sorry, which is like the normal exploration experience you're used to. They got a creative mode. Basically, this is like you can explore an infinite universe without limits. You can do whatever you want. You can craft to your heart's content, build. You can do anything without, you have no resource stopping you, basically. The other thing is you also have the brutal environment, the hardcore mode, which that's kind of interesting. I'm not going to mess with that anytime soon because, like I said, I need to get back into this game. It took me a minute to figure out everything, and I want to look at the building aspect and see what they've done for it, because apparently this is one of many more updates coming out. Like I said before, the day they start charging for any of their content on this is the day that I'm going to be sending a letter to them and just going off, because I've already paid 59 bucks for this game. I'm not about to pay another anything for this game, anything to do with this game. I paid my dues. I didn't refund it. I let them keep their 59 bucks from me plus tax, and hey, that was my decision. So let's go on to the second update. Second part of it was the base building, and that's what I was talking about. All it says, and this is exactly what it says: secondary, the foundation update brings base building to the game, giving players the opportunity to claim a home planet where they can start building and decorating their very own fully customizable outpost. When you're ready, recruit alien lifeforms from space stations and task them with researching new technology in your base. Farming, science, weapons, and technology specialists are available for hire. A new farming system also allows you to plant and grow biome-specific crops either inside your base using hydroponic labs or outside in the right environment. Alright, you know what? That's beautiful. That's great. That's awesome. How do you do it? Anyone? Anyone? See, that was my problem with this. I watched one video that Partially Royal did, and I got excited. I was like, well, crap, I'll just go watch his video and see how he was able to do it. He played it on PlayStation 4 because he recorded the video when they got the update. And that's where he played a lot of it. And so I was like, crap, that push up on the D-pad. Wow, that really doesn't help me. So it did tell me that there was another button you had to push, though, so that was very beneficial. And I just started hitting keys, and all of a sudden I hit the Z key, and bam, a little menu popped up. Now, when your menu first pops up, there's things up and down that you can't go to. Now, once you get into that point where you're in a base and you claimed it, you just scroll your mouse wheel, and guess what? You can pick between those items. Now, there's 4 things to build through. I don't recall seeing any type of plant building or things like that. I don't know, but they say it's in there. It should be in there. But like I said, my biggest frustration was that. Now, getting back to the positives of it, they did do something for the game. They have brought in base building. I love that part. They need to bring in a storage system, though, because I am so sick and tired of running out of inventory space and having to upgrade that. Now, they kind of did bring an inventory system in the third part of the update, which are freighters. Now, these are enormous ships that can be found cruising in space. Once you board them, you can speak to the captain. You can purchase it, but it's very expensive. They can be summoned at the will by explorers. They come with huge expandable cargo holds that are ideal for storing and transporting large quantities of stuff, which I love. They can be customized. You can actually build bases on them. I mean, it's kind of like Subnautica in that effect, where you can turn your sub into a mobile base. And that's one thing I loved about Subnautica is, you know, you weren't restricted to going back to your main base every time. You could just stay on your sub once you got that built. It took a lot to get to that point, but once you got to there, you had your sea moth that was attached to your sub. So, I mean, it was pretty cool in that aspect. So, there's also a number of improvements they did. If you haven't played the game in a while and you go to start it up, motion blur is now turned on. I suggest turning that crap off. Motion blur, although adds to the realism of a game, it's the most frustrating thing to a game, period, especially when you're recording it, because once you upload to YouTube, it says, oh, we've detected instability in your video. No, it's motion blur. It's realism, which I don't need that in my game to that effect. So anyway, that's automatically turned on, so keep that in mind. The biggest thing that they did was they added stackable products. So like whenever you have multiples of things, they're stacked up. It makes it helpful. I got a cat around me and I'm trying to stop her from yelling. Yeah. I'm going to have to hurt somebody. So anyway, sorry about that. That's real life struggles being a YouTuber. Um, so anyway, you can now stack items like the beads or the little things you want to sell that really don't do any serve a purpose. They're just for selling in the game. So you do have that. They stack up. You can just hit transfer them back to your ship. Um, there are going to be bugs and stuff like that. I haven't found any because I spent most of my time just trying to figure out what the heck I needed to do. With all being said, though, is this a great update? Yes, by all means, it's a great update. Finally, I mean, the game's been in full release. I quit playing it back in August. Here it is, almost December, and you guys are just now doing this. So yeah, I think it's a great update. I think it brings great things to this game. Finally, is it what everything needs to be done? No, there's still a lot to this game that needs to happen. I'm not gonna lie in that aspect. Um, what that is, I can't tell you. I mean, they need multiplayer. I don't understand why they don't do the multiplayer. But like I said, they don't want it to be a PvP game. Well, it doesn't have to be PvP. I mean, it'd just still be cool that if you made like a local multiplayer game where you and your friends could play and do things together. To me, that's cool. I think when people want multiplayer, that's what they want. If somebody's wanting this for PvP and stuff like that, you need to go play Rust or play something else. Play Arc PvP, play some other game that's intended for PvP, because this is not intended for PvP. This is just supposed to be a relaxing, fun survival game in a sense. And that's just all it is too. It's like Stranded Deep. You know, it's like someone saying they want PvP in Stranded Deep. What are you gonna do? Throw crabs at each other? You gonna sick a snake? You gonna toss a snake at somebody? I mean, you gonna lure them into the water, let a shark? It just doesn't make sense, folks. I mean, and that's my whole thing about this. You have enough to deal with, because especially with the carnivorous creatures that are on this island, that are now out there more of, you have that to deal with. You got a lot more crap that you got to play around with, and it's enough. It's enough to do it, especially with hardcore. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. Um, but as far as it goes, you're going to start seeing No Man's Sky come back on the channel a little bit. I'm not going to do it heavy. I'm going to do it like every other day or every 3 days or something like that. I'm going to incorporate it into the games. Murdered's not going to be. I'm not going to do any more videos on Murdered. Didn't seem like you guys liked that. 1979, probably not going to do any more videos on, unless you guys see something in the channel or see something. You know, there's something you want me to do that I said I'm not going to do. Let me know. But right as it stands right now, we're going to be playing Subsistence. We're going to be playing No Man's Sky. We're going to be playing Badia, and we're going to be playing Ark sometimes. We're going to be doing Ark a little bit. I miss playing Ark, but the reason I don't show and post as much Ark videos as I used to is because I burned myself out of it, and I didn't want my channel becoming Ark. And if you look at the YouTube trends, there's only a handful of YouTubers that still hold the Ark market right now and get a lot of views. That's Slipgator, you know, XP Craft is still doing pretty good, but Zul'jin, I mean, all the guys from Pooping Evolved pretty much got out of Ark to a major extent, and Zul'jin and Drax, man, they're struggling right now on their stuff, which it just happens. I mean, it's just a timing thing sometimes. I really noticed that in YouTube. Right now, my channel's growing. As of the day of me doing this video, I woke up this morning, we had 50 subscribers. I went to bed last night, we had like 48. So, this channel's growing, man. I'm excited about that. I mean, I know some people may look at it, well, it's just 50 subscribers. Well, we look at it as, man, we got 50 subscribers now. We're getting big. We are getting a lot of views per day. It's just great, man. I mean, I haven't had more fun doing YouTube than now. This is the most funnest time of doing YouTube, and I want to keep doing it. I want to keep doing fun stuff, and I want to keep bringing you games that you want to see. You know, I want to bring you new stuff that comes out and talk about it and do something like what we're doing right now. That's one reason why I stood behind Badia like I did, because, you know, it could have went either way. You know, like I said, if they would have waited a couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks before they put an update out, then it would have been like, wait a minute, what's going on? But they didn't. They're updating weekly, it seems like. Cold Games, man, he's been putting a lot of updates out for Subsistence, and I'm loving Subsistence. That game is so much fun. It's the most challenging game I've ever played as far as survival, trying to survive. I know some people might think it's easy just looking at it. It is not an easy game. It is a hard game. So back to No Man's Sky. So here's one of the habitats that we've got. This is where you go in. You have the cool thing is you have a teleporter to a space. You can teleport to space stations. That is awesome. You don't have to fly up there, because that is a pain in the butt sometimes. But I don't know if you have to like go establish a link. I don't know if it's not missing in the game. I tried to do it and it wouldn't let me do it. So I think you have to visit there first, unlock it, the nearest space station that is. So, but this is your habitat that you have, and it's pretty cool because it's not. The first one I found had like crap growing in it, was a little violent. I didn't want to be in there. Now I don't understand this previous base item cache. I don't know what that means. You can't get in there, can't touch it. That's just all for decorative periods or decorative stuff. So, but the building mechanic to it is pretty fun. You know, here's where it brings up about the issue. I don't understand if that's something I got to do first. I didn't really pay attention. I was just excited I was able to build for once, because once, I mean, that's what I wanted in this game. I was wanting to be able to like set up a place to my own little base. I didn't want to just be constantly flying from ship to ship. It just, to me, it just got kind of boring. You're just basically searching. I want to be able to put down roots somewhere and have a place to come back to. And not just do one place, but have multiple places sometimes. And I don't know if you can do multiple bases, but we're going to try that. So, but when it all comes down to it, you know, games come out all the time. New ones, old ones, or new ones come out all the time. Early access, not completed, full release, whatever. Gaming is a passion people have. Gaming is something that people find fun. It's a relaxing experience for us all, and it means a lot. Gaming is a part of life. For a mass majority of you guys that watch this channel, video games have been in your life since you've been born. For people close to my age and older, you know, we were there at the forefront when it just was starting out with like Atari and stuff. And when you go from what we've had gaming wise, and all the debates over violent video games cause violent actions, all that stuff, and you look through the history of video games, you know, it's a lot. It's the biggest source of entertainment, and with the way current state of things they are as they are now, you have a lot of different things going on in the gaming industry. And unfortunately, Hello Games with No Man's Sky brought apart the most ugliest thing that could ever happen. They took an indie game studio who merged with a major production studio like Sony, and it just is a fiasco. So this is a prime example of why, you know, doing it yourself sometimes may be the best fit. My biggest complaint with everything that happened with Hello Games and No Man's Sky was, number one, a certain individual on No Man's Sky's team couldn't keep his mouth shut and kept saying, "Oh, it's multiplayer. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that," and that hurt the game humongously. Sony being the sole party responsible for distributing it, yeah, I really think Sony had too much say in this game, and I think they did it on purpose. And I also believe that they wanted this game out. They don't deal with early access games. They've stated they will never release an early access game on a Sony platform. And to me, I think that's a bad mistake for them to say that. And ultimately, that's what's killing Sony right now. Consoles in general are going downhill. PC gaming is now cheap and affordable and can be done for the price of a console, and you get better quality. You can get better games. Half the games I purchase are under $19. I don't know too many cool, good graphically games on Xbox you can get for under $19. First off, hell, even Arc, when I bought it on Arc on Xbox, was $34. That was early access. Xbox does do early or game previews, as they call them, which is cool because they're giving chances to stuff like that. So, all I can tell you guys is, you know, stick with what you like, play with what you know, and just enjoy it. Will No Man's Sky ever be on Xbox? No, it's never going to be on Xbox. I doubt it. Will seriously doubt it. If you want to play No Man's Sky, you either have to have PC or PlayStation 4. And if you don't have a PlayStation 4, I would not suggest buying one just for this game. Just going to put that out there. If you can find a deal on this game, I would go back and buy it if you don't already have it. Would I go back and pay $59 even with this in? No, I wouldn't. Why did I not refund my money on it? Well, because I'm lazy and I thought maybe I wanted to see what would happen with the game. Honestly, this is what I thought. This is what I wanted to happen. It just took them a long time to do it. Now I lost face for a while. I was really not thinking, especially when they had their little crazy moment on Twitter where, you know, supposedly they got hacked, and the rumor is, did they get hacked? Did they not get hacked? Nobody knows. So, yeah, I kind of lost faith in them at that point. So, all I can tell you guys is, keep playing video games, keep coming back to this channel. You're going to find out about anything you want to know about gaming. So, this has been No Man's Sky. This has been the Foundation Update 1.1. I've been Bloodstalker 101. And that's all I can say, man. You know, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this. If I helped you, let me know. Leave a comment saying, man, thank you so much for telling me how to build. If you already knew how to do it and I'm a complete JA, just say, hey, dude, you're a JA. We figured this out easy. How come it took you 3 hours? By all means, say it. I'm just curious if anybody else has been able to figure this out, because as of right now, I haven't seen anybody post anything. So, but thank you guys so much for stopping by. I've been Bloodstalker, and as always, peace out, y'all.